Hey everyone. Basically, quick introduction to who we are. My name is Samantha Oying, and I am the founder of Superposition Toronto, and we are a student-led nonprofit dedicated to bridging the gender gap in STEM by creating educational opportunities and supportive communities. And currently you are attending our blockchain workshop, which of course is an example of an educational opportunity. And since being founded in July 2020, we've been able to reach 13 countries in 5 different continents and 3 provinces across Canada, and we will continue to impact more women and students across the world with our mission. So yeah, Elena, as soon as you're ready to go, you can share your screen with your presentation.
Thank you, Samantha. Do you hear me guys well? I want to test the sound first.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, because yeah, I can use a headset or I use a microphone right now. So hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the blockchain session on this beautiful day in Toronto. I assume you are in Toronto because this is the Toronto branch, right? So very much excited of giving you a workshop today. Can you type in the chat? Have you heard about the blockchain? Do you know what it is? How well you know? Just feel free to type so I can just see the, okay, so first that says no idea, good one. Okay, never even heard of it, awesome, my audience, that's good. Okay, so now you're going to be experts right after this hour. So prepare to learn some basic stuff, and if you're not experts yet, after 1 hour, you can join us for the further sessions. All right. Blockchain and Cryptocurrency 101. My name is Elena Sinelnikova. I am a founder of a nonprofit organization called CryptoChicks. We started this organization with my co-founder 3 years ago, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end of the presentation. But the bottom line is that we've reached 56 countries in 3 years. We're doing an education, and our education is focused on women and kids. We're helping them to learn about blockchain cryptocurrency, to use it, and also to start business in the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. All right. So what you will learn today. What is a blockchain? Why is it called blockchain? Who owns it? Ways to destroy it? What is a cryptocurrency? We're going to go through basics of cryptography. What is a private key? Don't be scared. What is mining? All going to be explained. Crypto economy model. Why blockchain technology has never been hacked yet. Why there is a transaction fee. And we're going to go through blockchain examples, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Riddle. What can be built using a blockchain, and we're also going to do a quiz at the end, so pay attention. So what is a blockchain? In essence, blockchain is a database. If you are in STEM, of course you heard and know what the database is. It's a structured set of data that is located on a computer. Usually it's on a big computer that belongs to the big company. We call it a server. We deal with databases every day, actually. And blockchain, for example, Facebook photos, Instagram photos, they all located as a structured set of data on a computer that belongs to Facebook, that belongs to the Instagram. But with blockchain, it's different. With a blockchain, this database is a decentralized. It means that it's not located on one computer that belongs to some company, but rather on thousands. It's on thousands and thousands of computers that spread out all over the world. And who owns these computers? Guys, girls, pretty much anyone. And you can own that as well. And we call this computer blockchain nodes. So what you need to do to own the blockchain node, simply you just need to download the information from the website, the files. You download a core of the blockchain from the website, and voila, the files of this database going to be stored on your computer. You can go inside them, you can take a look. It wide open to you, and same with all other computers that this blockchain database located on, same thing. So this is something that downloaded, and now it's living, it's alive, and all these computers are connected between each other. Any guesses what they connected with? Just maybe throw it in the chat so I can see what they connected with. Any guesses? All right, let me open the chat. Zoom is getting away from me a little bit. All right. So Wi-Fi, yes, that's right. So whoever is Samuel Bai, thank you. Internet. So all these computers are connected with an internet, of course, and the answer was right there. All right. Yes, all these computers all over the world connected with an internet. Now imagine the power of it. And this is now going to be talking about how to destroy it, because there's different there were different concerns raised by different people in the world, especially people of power. It says like, how blockchain, is it good? Is it bad? Are Bitcoin good or bad? So just imagine that I'm the president of some country and I'm telling, my people are not allowed to use a blockchain anymore. And actually they're obey. And what's going to happen to blockchain? So let's see. All right, so did you see it? I just switched the slides back and forth. Right, so basically, even if one country or many countries choose not to use it, pretty much nothing will happen to blockchain. It still exists in the world, unless leaders of all countries will agree on it, which will never gonna happen. Therefore, blockchain, this technology is very, very powerful and undestroyable. Though I thought of this scenario, how we can destroy it. For example, this one, but in this case, we have a bigger problems, of course, but even at least one computer with the files of the database still exist after, the big, huge explosion. We still have the blockchain database. So you see, this is the power of the decentralized technology, and sometimes it's underestimated because we think, oh, like, why we need it? For example, we already have, Google, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have all these big giants, but think about it. So they control everything that you see, right? With databases that located on people's computers all over the world, no one can control, or everyone. So what is inside this database of the blockchain database? Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin because that was the very, very first blockchain that was invented and put in place. In Bitcoin, it's a ledger of the transactions. The transactions, this is the financial kind of transaction. For example, if you go to the store, you buy milk, you buy bread, there are different transactions that you make, money transactions. So basically, money transfer from you to the store, right? So it's similar here in the blockchain. This is a list of the transactions that are recorded. Transferring money, which is digital money, Bitcoin, from one account to another. And that's what is recorded inside the blockchain database. Which brings us to the question, what is a cryptocurrency? Actually, cryptocurrency is a digital money that data of it, records of it is located on the blockchain and is protected by cryptography. That's why it's called a cryptocurrency, because it's protected by cryptography. And what is the cryptography? Again, if you're in STEM, maybe you heard of it, but I'm going to explain it very quick and the way that you can understand. So cryptography is the way that we can encode the certain word or certain information into encrypted version of it. So it will be easy to store and easy and secure to store. For example, I take the word crypto and I applied inversion algorithm to it, And on the right side, received the cryptographic hash of it, which is the encrypted representation of the word crypto. So you see, it's very easy. And it's very easy to convert back if you know the inversion algorithm, of course. In Bitcoin, a different algorithm is used, which is converting any information into a seemingly random string of letters and numbers, which is we call also a cryptographic hash. So all the information there is encrypted using this algorithm, which called SHA-256, which is simple hashing algorithm 256. How strong it is. And this is something that connected why blockchain has never been hacked, because usually how hackers do, they reverse engineer the information from encoded version to, so they could see what actually information is stored inside of it. So it takes that many seconds to convert hash, which is cryptographic representation of word crypto, back into the word crypto. It means that hacker will spend that many seconds. And this is a huge number of seconds, because the number below, which is less than that, this is how many seconds passed since the beginning of our universe. So there you go. Hacker has to live long enough to hack into the records of the Bitcoin database to break it. So therefore, blockchain database is just a list of the transactions, money transferring from one account to another. And as we see here, so when we learn blockchain, when you download this node and you install the program called wallet, for example, in order to connect to the blockchain account that you've been given, you will be given a private key. So private key, think of it, your account on the blockchain as the house. And a private key is the key to your house. So it means that but also there is an account number, or sometimes it's called a public key, sometimes it's two different keys. So account numbers are exposed to other people on the blockchain, same as your house address would be exposed to other people, so they would know what address to send money to. But you cannot send money from your account, and nobody can unless they know your private key. And private key this is something that is not stored on a blockchain. This is something that's given to you, and you can calculate your account number from private key using this hashing algorithm. But it's not possible to calculate it back, of course, because it's an encryption. So therefore, you see on the blockchain, there is no names or phone numbers or any personal information, just the account numbers. And you have a key to your account number, a private key, that you need to protect with a dear heart, because whoever has a private key has access to your money. So how it works. And this is protection number 1. When you need to pay money from your account to do the transaction, you need a private key. But how it works inside the blockchain. Every transaction is getting signed with this key. So it's kind of like a digital signature that put on a transaction, which blockchain validates and say, oh, okay, so this account, this private key truly belongs to this account, so this transaction is valid. If somebody trying to hack or use a wrong private key, this transaction will be invalidated with a blockchain. So even without a third party, even without bank verifying whether you have money or not, this is the program does it for you and a blockchain. Because every transaction, again, signed with a private key, nobody can impersonate you unless they have your true private key to the account. Protection level number 2. So that's where validators or miners come into play. They are the ones that are building blocks of information inside. So information inside the blockchain is not stored as a one big ledger of the transactions. It's actually get organized into a blocks. For Bitcoin, it's every few minutes, transaction get organized. And there is lots of miners in the network who are trying to build the block. So the miner, there is a whole cryptoeconomy model that built into this process. So miner is expected to do significant investment for a chance of the reward. it makes blockchain function by itself without anybody supporting it, because miners, they are supporters of the blockchain, and they do it for their reward, which released to them automatically without involvement of any humans. So how does it work? And what miners do, and what the block will consist. So basically, the task of the miner, take all the transactions that the new transactions then come into the blockchain and encrypt them using the cryptographic hashing algorithm 256. But that is very easy and it's very fast. So therefore, there is a difficulty rule in a blockchain. For example, in Bitcoin, it says that right now, the current one, that this resulting hash has to start with 18 zeros in front. Therefore, miners who are competing with each other, by the way, for building a block, because for every block they get the money, they are trying to add a number. They're trying to guess which number to add to this block, so the resulting hash will have 18 numbers. For example, they take number 0, and then you see the resulting hash will have 3 zeros in front. Number 1, 6 zeros in front. So the miner think, oh, we're getting close. 2, no zeros, and so on and so forth. Miner is trying and trying to pick the number. It's similar, like, you know, like picking a lock. So miner is trying and trying and trying until voila, he gets the correct hash that satisfies the blockchain difficulty rule. So all miners doing that, all miners that are in the network, all supporters of this blockchain network are doing it because at the end, they get a release Bitcoin. Actually, right now, I had this presentation running for a while. So it used to be just at the beginning of this year, 12.5 Bitcoin. But every 200,000 blocks, the reward for the block gets halved. It means that, what is the block reward? So as soon as miner builds the block, so once all the transactions built it in the block, it's like sealed in a stone, and nobody can change it anymore. That's it. So there is no changes to the transactions anymore into this information. And whichever miner get it first, get released a reward. It used to be 12.5 Bitcoins. Now it's 6.25 because every 200,000 blocks, the reward is getting halved. So it got halved, I think, in April this year. Before that, it was 12.5. So right now, Bitcoin is about $10,000 US. So 6.5 will be lots of money, right? So you can do the math yourself. So yes, it's a lot of money, and there are lots of miners in the Bitcoin network that are competing, building these blocks. Again, in order to be first, you see, because they're doing this picking a lock procedure, right? So they need to guess a number, which number to add, and this is the kind of like a random number. So in order to loop through all the numbers, all the possible variations, they invest a lot of money into the equipment. So whoever has a fastest equipment gets this number first and gets the money. So therefore, this is actually a protection in the Bitcoin network, because miner who invest millions and millions of dollars into the equipment is less likely to cheat. They will never cheat, of course, because they pay all this money for the equipment. And it's called a proof of work. So miners actually proved that they did the work on this block, and they won, and they did the work better than the others. And because this crypto economy model, I would like to show some numbers in there. I took the period of time when Bitcoin was going down and down and down and down in price. All right, so people were saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin was down, but this is not the point. So what happened to the number of miners? Actually, number of miners were going, it's constantly going up because people want, like, more and more people want to make money on the Bitcoin. But at a certain point, when a price went way down, number of miners starting to decrease because it was not economically viable already to mine, to put all this money into the equipment and mine Bitcoin, right? So build the blocks, and miners starting to drop out. And why this model works and without human involvement? Because blockchain difficulty adjusts by itself. So it's looking onto the number of miners that are in the network, and when the number of miners decreases, blockchain difficulty also decreases. Okay, so here is the blockchain difficulty. So it was growing while the miners were growing, and then it started decreasing. And as we see, as soon as it decreases, it became again easier to mine Bitcoin, and more miners were getting back into the network, right? And of course, blockchain difficulty follow at increasing. So this is a self-sustainable system that doesn't need any human interaction and work by itself without any support. And this is just for you to illustrate the number of transactions per day. And even though the price was going drastically down, number of transactions in a Bitcoin network always growing up and up and up, as well as in other blockchains. There are lots of other blockchains except Bitcoin, beside Bitcoin. So the adoption is going. So regardless of the price, regardless of what you hear, it's always growing. And protection level number 3. So here you see all the blocks of these transactions. They are connected to each other, and they connected to each other with a hash of the previous block. You see this in a dark blue. I have the hash of the previous block included in every subsequent blocks. This is another protection. For example, if somehow the cryptography gets broken and some of the blocks get changed, it means that hacker needs to recalculate all the subsequent blocks in a blockchain, which makes the job extremely difficult. And right now it's actually impossible because nobody's done it before. So therefore, and that's how blockchain called a blockchain, because this is a chain of blocks that are connected between each other. And inside those blocks are the transactions. So let me just quickly look at the chat and stop at the questions. All right, are they just brute forcing the number, or is it some algorithm? So it's because this is a program, and you can write the program, you can write mining program that is running there. So from what I know, yes, they're brute forcing the numbers, but because there's no such algorithm that can help them. The secure hashing algorithm, the one that encrypts the hash, it's too strong for any algorithm to be fast enough. So brute forcing probably is the fastest. Very good question, by the way. Okay, let me see if there's any more other questions at this point. All right, you are welcome. Protection level number 4. Sometimes I get questions, why blockchain owners are so greedy? They charge us transaction fees, like because we already charged the transaction fees by the banks, why the transaction fee there's on the blockchain as well? Well, this is not greediness, and there's, as you know, there's no blockchain owners per se, because it belongs to people, located on the people computers, and acted completely self-sustained and automatic. It's a protection. Actually, if there was, because I consult a lot on a blockchain, people sometimes come to me and say, oh, I create new blockchain that would not have a transaction fees. It will be just for people who say, well, this is a bad idea. And that's why, because if you don't have a transaction fees, your blockchain is very vulnerable to anti-denial of service attacks. It means that hackers can just, not hackers, spammers, can transfer funds back and forth from one account to another, and therefore they can spam the network and put all, even all people's computers, put them down, right? Because they will be just spinning and working, doing all these transactions. Therefore, there is a transaction fee that associated with every transaction. It means that hacker or spammer has to pay for every transaction, which makes it not economically viable for the spammers. So therefore, these transaction fees are introduced. Also, note that these transaction fees are also going to a miner as a reward. So miner not only get the block rewards. So once miner creates the block, reward is released automatically, which is newly money that produced by a blockchain, but also miner collects all transaction fees for all the transactions. So let's say if there is 200,000 transactions in one block, it means that miner, and like every transaction will be 1 cent. So miner creates quite significant money as well from the transaction fees. Blockchain examples. Today we talked about Bitcoin, and that was very first blockchain system that was introduced to the world. It was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009, and it is in essence, it's a payment system. As you saw today, just the transactions, nothing else. So peer-to-peer electronic cash system was meant to replace banks. To some extent, right now they are succeeding. The Bitcoin is succeeding by replacing the banks. People are transferring, at least in the blockchain world. Yes, we do the payments all the time in crypto, in Bitcoin and other coins as well. So yes, it does work. It's secure, and that it's not controlled by anybody. And most importantly, for countries, for example, in one of our chapters, Bahamas, right? So they don't have their own banks, right? So they need to somehow get around and use other countries' banks, right? And it's, in order to open a bank in the Bahamas, it's almost impossible, right? So you need to be filling forms and waiting long, like months and months before you get an account open, and then you actually can be denied. So in this case, blockchain provides people with digital payment system. So that's it's a big deal for some countries. And as you saw, Bitcoin is the decentralized database. Information inside of it protected by cryptography. It has a cryptoeconomic model built inside it. It's incentive penalty model, which miner gets an incentive for building the blocks, and also get penalized if miner is cheated, because miner loses all his investments into the equipment. And coin released by mining. So the new money that produced by the Bitcoin blockchain released by mining. So this is usage of the transactions per day, is 300,000 transactions per day. Right now, as I said, right now it's more, because when I'm doing this presentation, probably some time lapse, and you can check right now how many transactions per day Bitcoin has. It's more than that, maybe already close to 500,000. Next one, Ethereum. It's a very popular. It's appeared in 2015, was created by Vitalik Buterin. Oh, and by the way, I haven't mentioned that. Just a second. So this is, I'm going to go to the previous slide. I said Satoshi Nakamoto, and here I had a picture of Satoshi Nakamoto, and that was a joke, because we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. I worked in my previous company, I worked as a software architect, and my boss was saying, this Satoshi Nakamoto person must be an alien, because he puts a system in production in 2009 and it works for 10 years with no crashes and no bugs. So he must be an alien. We still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. We know his name because he released a white paper. We know that he mined his first, he was the first miner in the Bitcoin, and the coins that he mined is still untouched. So he didn't cash any of the earnings, but it's right now it's, of course, billions of dollars there. And as well, we still don't know whether it's organization, might be a woman, might be, you know, whoever, so we don't know. There's lots of rumors around it. So the Satoshi died, or Satoshi lost his private key. There's lots of rumors, but the truth is we still don't know to this point who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Maybe man from the future, maybe alien, who knows. As opposed to Ethereum, it's actually a real person. I know him personally, Vitalik Buterin. So what he did and how Ethereum is different from a Bitcoin. So Ethereum is actually a world computer. It means that it could be used as a transaction system because there's the same transactions there. It can be used as a payment system, but it also provides the possibility to build applications that also can be peer-to-peer, you know, without involving any single party. So usually when you run the applications on your computer, it's created by somebody and somebody controlling it. So when you enter in data, this somebody actually takes your data and sees your data, so something like this. But in this Ethereum network, you can create applications that will be only between two people, right? And it's not between people, and it's not owned by anybody. So that is what is, in essence, what Ethereum is. So it's inside of it, it's done by smart contracts. This programs little codes that run in there that they call smart contract. And they are smart contracts for a reason, because this is contract from one person to another, let's say, right? This is a decentralized platform. So therefore, smart contract and decentralized application platform, or we also call it a world computer. It is decentralized. It has no owner. Coins are released by mining. The funds protected by cryptography, all the records protected by cryptography and smart contracts as well. And it has incentive penalty mechanism. Right now, it's very interesting, because right now in the current Ethereum, it's also proof of work. So, you know, the miners have to guess the number. But in November this year, Ethereum moving to proof of stake. It means that now it's going to be replaced. So the miners don't need to now invest all this equipment and you know, power, electricity, and computers. They will need to actually put money as a stake. So their validation of the block is true. Because if if the block is invalid, they lose their stake. And the stake is right now is 32 Ether. Ethereum today is about 300 Canadian dollars. So if you have 32 Ethers, you put the stake into it, and then of course it gauges from your stake the mining. So you can actually make money on the mining on validating blocks. Usage is a little bit more, well, actually a lot more right now as a Bitcoin. I think twice as a Bitcoin. It's heavily used because right now there is lots of applications running that are, for example, called money farming. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later. So people are borrowing money from each other, and they take in money, they put in it into investments, and people getting percentage of it. So this is right now, that's what is going on in the decentralized finance area. Before, in 2018, that was a lot of fundraising. Lots of companies were coming out with new ideas, and they were crowdfunded on Ethereum blockchain. So that was a lot of like big boom, as well as right now is a big boom for the Ethereum. Right now, of course, the adoption is growing, and we will see many more applications that's going to be released on this blockchain. And I took another example, which is a little bit different than the first two, Riddle. So Riddle system was created by, attention, Riddle Labs. So this is not, it was not some person, it was the company that created it. And that was solely for the purpose for gross settlement for the banks, right? So this is for the interbanking transactions. Also, payment and currency exchange system was created in 2012. It's also blockchain. It's so-called blockchain, but it's different than from the blockchain that we just learned. it's not decentralized, it's centralized. It's located on the computers that controlled by Ripple. Right now, they actually included other computers into network as well that owned by people, but it's not completely decentralized still. Records still protected by cryptography, but there's no cryptoeconomic model that built into it, and coins are released and controlled by the company, by Ripple. And 60% of the coins are also owned by Ripple. So I give this example to you just for you to show that every time you hear blockchain and you're thinking about, getting to use it, do your homework and see if it's really a decentralized, because blockchain power in decentralization. So here we see this example is completely opposite. So every time you hear blockchain, do your research and see what blockchain actually it is. So what you can do, what you can build using blockchain. Lots of stuff. I just put a few here. The one that we saw in our hackathons, we do lots of hackathons, and you can Google CryptoChicks dev post. You will see our hackathons. You can go inside. There's lots of ideas inside, and we usually ask our hackers to create videos, like very interesting to watch. On your free time, please go ahead and Google. In essence, in short, what it is you can build. Of course, financial systems. So you see that payments is a very good use case for the blockchain. Also lending and borrowing money. So instead of lending, borrowing money from banks, you can do it actually from real people, but the rules and lending or borrowing will be controlled by the program, right? So it's kind of, you don't need to worry if you trust or not trust the person to borrow money from you, because the program will keep the collateral in. And of course, if he, for example, cheats or not returns, his collateral will be released to you and you will not lose your money. So this is something that is used in the blockchain, a financial system for the lending and borrowings. Registries, very popular in the third world countries when there's no registration system exists, or there's no like even for example, a birth certificate. People are getting born, people are born, but they're not even registered. They don't have a birth certificates. Nobody registering them. So public registries become very popular use case of the blockchain. Same for tracking system. Oh, like criminal records is a very good example. I worked for police for 9 years, and I can tell you that there is no worldwide database, or there's no even Canada-wide. All this data that criminal records, it's all belongs to police departments, right? And they don't share this data with each other. So blockchain would be very good use case for them to share the data. Tracking systems, for example, like refugees, very good one. Because when people come from the country where there's a war, they don't have any documents or anything like this. We have emerged, so one of our partners, they built a system when they use the iris scan for the people, and they registered them as a refugee. So therefore you can track them, and you can see where these people are located, what camps and so on. So the tracking systems are very good used for the blockchain. Rewards program. It's also was built on our hackathon. For example, plastic recycling. With the help of AI, for example, you can recycle plastic, you can take a picture, and you can be rewarded actually from the program for doing that, for doing a good deed. So, and it's also used in educational content publishing. For example, if you put some good content somewhere on the system, so you are have to be expected to be rewarded. So this is the reward programs are very good use to the blockchain. Gig economy, freelancers, excellent case. Sometimes when you need freelance work, or if you freelancer yourself, when you take in a contract, you with the blockchain, you don't need to actually sign a legal documents, because it's also done. It could be done with a code. So all you need to do, you put a stake to it, you do the work, and same is done by your employer, right? So, and then you're getting paid automatically at the end of it. So it's, this is something that also we see more and more working. Batch system, when you have your sport program, weight loss program, or anything like that, especially when they're worldwide, attendance system, of course, for the conference. So badges, as you progress through the program, you can get the badges, and also you can share with other people your achievements. So the badge system is very popular as well. And reputation systems. Right now we see lots, again, LinkedIn, you all probably use LinkedIn, but you can never trust this information there, you know, and with the blockchain, you actually can put on your proof of like if you worked at certain places, your qualifications. So, and then of course, they gain a reputation like this. So that's another use case. Yeah, so here I just give you just a couple of the websites and what is it used today. Decentralized finance, again, lending and borrowing, you can go, it's a MakerDAO and Ivy, you can Google that. Wallets. As I said, there is, if you need to use a blockchain, you will need a wallet. We ourselves, we use Portis.io. Wallet is easy one to create. You can go to the website, open one up and see for yourself. It's very, very easy. But the main thing, you have to store your private key. They will send email about this, and you can use this wallet to transfer to operate in a blockchain. So fundraising, two key system, for example, it's for the it's used if you need to do like a crowdfunding, like GoFundMe page. So they track also automatically, the blockchain tracks of who shared the link, and automatic reward is get issued for each person who shares if this the end link result in a donation. This is also something that done in a blockchain. Gig economy, metislab.com. This is something that freelancers can use. Exchanges. This is somewhere that you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. So that's, for example, there's Kraken, there's Coinbase, and also games. You can go to decentraland.org, which is very, very interesting also site. So it is a virtual reality game. What is different from the other virtual reality is that every piece of land, it's a token on a blockchain, right? So this every piece of land is registered on a blockchain, and people actually buy this land because there is a limited amount of land in this in the Decentraland, and it's become very, very valuable. Oh yeah, if you're thinking about opening your business, also our CryptoChicks Hatchery, we developed a very good program for you to get familiar with not only with the blockchain, but also with a way to build your own business. So we're walking you through steps. So check out our website. And a review, which is gonna go quickly to review, and then I answer your questions. So blockchain, it's a database, and it's a decentralized database. It means that data, structured set of data, is located on the people's computers all over the world. There's 4 levels of protection inside a blockchain data. So level 1, each transaction is signed with a private key that cannot be impersonated. Level 2, blocks built by validators or miners who are financially responsible for each block. Level 3, chain of blocks are bound to each other cryptographically. And level 4, transaction fees act as an anti-spam protection. These 4 levels of protection made a blockchain is unbreakable. And we're gonna go into the quiz. So let me get into chat as well. So guys, who owns blockchain? All right, no one. Okay, okay, distribute among the people who owns the node. No one, no one. All right, yes, it's of course it's a no one or everyone, you can say that. It means that there is no single party, so there is no single entity, single person, single company that does it, yes. But it's basically belongs to no one. Even if you own a blockchain node, you don't own the database. You just can see the files, but really you don't own it. Before we move in further, I'm just answer one question from Kiara. Does the creator of blockchain makes money whenever any transaction happens? All right, so this is the question. I don't know, maybe someone can answer that. If you heard, does the creator of the blockchain make money whenever any transaction happens? Who is the creator of the blockchain? All right, so I have a first answer. Let's see. Okay, the answer is yes, I think, the Japanese person. Okay, so Japanese, no one knows. All right, no, of course. So this is the whole point of it. So no creator can make any money. Who makes money on the blockchain? The miners. Good job. Yes, the miners. Can they lose money on the blockchain? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. This is, again, this is a chance, and this is the hard work of building the blocks. No creators get any funds or money or transaction fees or anything. That's the whole point of the blockchain. It's not controlled by anyone. It's not benefited to any single person. Is that clear? Why would someone want to build one then? All right. So you think it's people build things for money? Just my question. Sorry that I'm answering the question with the question. It's a dream to create something bigger than yourself, you know, bigger than, like Satoshi Nakamoto. He didn't even take a credit, whoever he is, right? We don't even know him, right? Let alone the funds, and the funds that he earned is not even cashed, so he didn't use any. Right? So this is financial benefit is not the only benefit that you can, you know, get from life. And if you get lots of money, at some point, you all get to the point when you have lots of money, and then you will see how money don't mean anything. Okay, thank you. This was not a blockchain lesson. All right, moving to the quiz. Why do blockchain owners collect transaction fees? Okay, guys, answer. Thank you, Beatrice, to prevent spams. Thank you, Samuel, to prevent those attacks. Yes, yes, good job, yes. So this is very good answer to the previous question, right? Is the creator of the blockchain collects the money, right? So there's no, first of all, there's no owners of the blockchain, and transaction fees are done as the anti-spam protection. What is blockchain customer service number? We haven't covered this in the presentation. Can you please guess what the phone number is? Blockchain customer service phone number. Think of it. Google it. Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel. It does not exist, Billy. There's no blockchain customer service number. There's no any single party, any single entity that owns it. I tell you the story. Remember I told you Ethereum was invented by Vitalik Buterin. He's a real person. He's one of my friends. I knew him since the moment he was born. So we had a hackathon, and he was at this hackathon. And a woman came to him and said like, help, please, please help, because she bought Ethereum very, very early when it costed like 5 cents. Right now it's, you know, $300. And she put everything into account, and then she wrote her private key on a piece of paper, actually printed. And then she trying to access the funds to sell, but she couldn't. And she came to the creator and asked her like, can you please help me? Because on this account, by the moment she was doing it, so it was millions of dollars. And he couldn't help her because private key is the something, again, that belongs only to you. None of the creators, none of the miners, not Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody can actually go and recover it for you. So this is the story, right? So this is the story how this is how private key works. So it's a big, kind of big power, but with the big power, we know that here comes the big responsibility. Is when you are starting transacting on the blockchain, treat it yourself as your own bank, right? So your own customer service number. Customer service and everything this is you, because this is a full control is given to you, not somebody else. All right, I send my money to the wrong address. How do I get them back? I get this a lot because, you know, people, yes, they type addresses wrong and they send money to the wrong addresses. Can you tell me? Thank you, Samuel. Yes, you beg them and pray. Yes, this is something, again, because there's no names and phone numbers on the blockchain, you can't even know, you cannot even beg them back, right? You have no way of asking. Just I'm asking you, if you ever transact on the blockchain and all of a sudden you get amount of money on your address from nowhere, please send it back. Maybe there's some, you know, poor person that just made a typo. There you go. Big responsibility again. I lost my private key. Who should I contact for help? I think we went through this one already when I was telling the story. All right. Who should we contact for help? Oh, yeah. There, no one. Yes, that's right. This is correct, of course. Yes, when you store your private key, record it, laminate it, put it in a bank cell. That's it. And yeah, otherwise the money is gone. Can a miner validator lose money? We covered that. Yes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Yes, 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 they can. That's the whole point. They lose money as a penalty for cheating. That's why miners are not going to cheat. What would be a valid blockchain business use case? All right, so that's, I'm just having public registry, government registry, privately owned registry. So what do you think? Public registry, yes, it's the best use case, because government registry can be technically also put on a blockchain and privately owned registry as well, but there's no point of this because government has his own, you know, database and servers, and privately owned probably they also have, but the public registry can certainly benefit from the blockchain. Which is the following doesn't have mining and issue its cryptocurrency in a centralized manner? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Ripple? Centralized. Ripple, Ripple, Ripple. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Just as I am finishing, I just wanted to tell our story and maybe inspire you guys to go into STEM and continue with the STEM as you're already in. We founded our organization with my friend, my longtime friend, and our goal was to tell women about the blockchain technology. At the moment that we started, there was no information online, there's nothing, and as you see, there is a very, very high risk to lose money if you're not careful with the blockchain, right? So you cannot lose money because of the security, but you can lose money if you don't pay attention. So this is what we are explaining to women. This is our mission, vision, and goals. So we already went globally. We're doing lots of events abroad. Right now, everything is online. And we have 56 countries in our network. And also right now we are developing two initiatives, two educational initiatives. One, CryptoChicks Hatchery for women, and actually men, lots of men joined us now too, who would like to build their own blockchain business. And CryptoChicks Academy, this is something that we haven't even launched. So this is we starting our courses for women who would like to join crypto and blockchain world, get the jobs, and we educating them in crypto and blockchain with these courses. And if you have any questions, you can ask right now, or you can contact, stay in touch at cryptochicks.ca. This mailbox goes to me too, so I will see your email. And also on Twitter at CryptoChicks, you can contact us too. So do you guys have any questions at this point? I think we have like 2 minutes, maybe even less. Okay, is the private key given per computer or per account? Yes, very good question. This is per account. Again, there are different types of wallets, but yes, if you have an account, you have a private key associated with it. All right. Any other questions? Again, if you have any questions later on, do you need a permission or certificate to start a blockchain business? No, you don't. You can start a blockchain business without any permission, of course. Because this is, again, this is a people system. You can start whatever, whenever you want. And it doesn't have any borders. It's international, it's a worldwide. All right, how did I get into the blockchain? That was a very funny story. My friend, the one that I showed you in the picture, so she was one of the early adopters of Ethereum. So when Ethereum got just launched, so she got some of the funds, but she asked her son to get it for her. And when she was trying to sell them, right? So she needed to install a wallet on her computer and she couldn't, and she asked me. We both have, we both masters of computer science, and it was really hard for us at that time to figure it out because it was crashing, it was like doing all the funny things, and yeah, so, and that's how we decided to start at, to educate women, because I said, like, if two masters of computer science could not figure it out, this is, you know, other women need help too. So that's how I got into blockchain. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much. You're welcome to look at our website and also send us a message. And I would like to say thanks Samantha for inviting me today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting this workshop. So lastly, before everyone goes, I'm just going to share something really quickly. So can you all see the page?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So basically, thank you so much for attending. And so we have a social media challenge. So first thing to do is to follow us at Superposition Toronto on Instagram, and then share your main takeaways in just an Instagram story, and then tag us in it for a chance to be featured on our story. And then lastly, we just have a feedback form, and it would be really beneficial if you could all fill this out for us, and this way we can bring more workshops to you guys and help improve them. All right, so I think all of you have clicked into the Google form and hopefully started on with our social media challenge. But it is 6:01, and so that basically wraps up all the time we have. We have also, Elena has shared the email and their Twitter if you want to stay in touch and ask any more questions. But basically that concludes our workshop today. So thank you so much for attending. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great day, everyone.